2023 is here. Experts are saying fuel costs can be upwards of $7 a gallon. Will 2023 be another pocket breaker for RVers?
So this is coming from an article on RVtravel.com, and it's dated January 5th of this year. And this actually was originally on GasBuddy, so RV Travel is just reporting on it. Here's a quote for you. Drivers could see gas prices surge to nearly $7 a gallon in some U.S. states as refinery issues bite supply and Chinese demand bounces back, GasBuddy says. So that's the headline, insider from businessinsider.com.
Headlines are always spectacular, right? So there's a little more to the story. We're going to dig into it a little bit more. Gas prices are definitely not going to be what they were in 2021. But there may be a little bit of relief in the horizon. So let's get the bad news out right away. If you live in California, specifically like the LA, San Francisco area, you could be facing $7 a gallon. But you could thank your state for that, right? High state taxes kind of,
and I think they're kind of used to that. Unfortunately, it's been high for quite a while.
Yeah, but for the rest of the country, we're going to talk about what the predictions are that GasBuddy is saying, and they've been quite accurate over the past couple of years. I think within 0.8% accuracy of their predictions. So let's get into what we're looking at.
It is not going to be as bad as 2022, which is good because we did a number of videos last year where people really had, and we did community polls on our YouTube channel too, that people really had to alter many of their travel plans strictly because of fuel costs. And I know we actually did that as well, right? But some good news is heading into 2023, yes, it is still going to be high, but there is a decrease on the horizon. So let's get into some numbers. So
this is what GasBuddy is predicting. I'm just going to read the average for every month, and we'll link the article below. You can go through it. It's quite lengthy. So for January, this is nationwide average $3.04 for gasoline. All gasoline. We'll get into the diesel a little later. February $2.99, March $3.22, April $3.50 a gallon. May $3.79, June $3.99. It's always the highest.
Peaking in June, yes.
Right, because they go to those summer blends and people travel a lot. July $3.81, August $3.87, September $3.60, October $3.53, November $3.36, December $3.17, and the yearly average $3.49, which again, it's still higher than it was in 2021, but lower than last year. Now, the federal government has a different prediction.
Optimistic.
Do you trust the government or do you trust the experts? I don't know, but let's talk about what they're predicting.
And no matter what government we're talking here, either side, just government in general. So looking at some projections, the U.S. Department of Energy stated that in 2022, the average gas prices were $3.99. And of course with us, again, it was by us, it was higher. Of course, it varies in states. This year, they're saying it's going to be averaging around $3.51, so better.
Now, some of the causes are, a big cause is refinery capability, the current environment, right? Like a lot of companies are not investing in refineries because of the move to electric. The more refineries that come online, the cheaper the prices are going to be, right? The more supply, less demand, or increased supply, prices go down. So let's talk about diesel. This is GasBuddy's prediction. They're forecasting an average of $4.12 a gallon in 2023, with the highest being probably around June. They're predicting $4.30 per gallon, which is less than last year. It was by us, it was almost $6 a gallon.
It was really bad. So the government, nice and optimistic, they are actually expecting the 2023 average to hit $4.48 a gallon. So that would turn into a 10.4% decrease.
Yes, and inflation's on the way down, even though it is still at 7%. So we'll take that for what it is. But inflation's really important. A lot of that is driven by energy prices and, of course, people's spending.
So before we move on to some tips and ways to help you save fuel, put in the comments below, guys, who do you believe? Do you believe the government? Or do you believe GasBuddy?
They believe their eyes.
I want to hear what you have to say.
How is this going to affect the RV industry? Well, I mean, they're already taking a hit. The gas prices hopefully will be a little bit lower. But like I said earlier, inflation is not going anywhere. It's probably going to keep going up. Not inflation, but interest rates are probably going to keep going up, if not remain where they're at. It's really going to continue to affect the RV industry. With that out of the way, if you have an RV already or you're going to buy an RV, they are not fuel efficient. They are notorious for not being fuel efficient. So what can you do to save money on fuel? Because it is a big deal. Like for us, it's a big deal. Here are some tips. So the first way to save fuel is going to be your speed. We've talked about this on other videos.
Many times, yeah.
Many times, you know, 55 miles an hour was set back during the last fuel crisis of the 70s, not because it was like the safe speed, because it was the most fuel efficient. So anything over 60 miles an hour, you start to greatly reduce your fuel efficiency. And then if you're an aggressive driver, although how aggressive can you be? Although we've seen it, right?
Oh, we've seen it. We've seen it a lot. Yeah.
Aggressive driving, stop and go driving, that really affects us. Like we see a big difference when we're stop and go
not on the
versus the highway.
Yeah.
It's a big difference. This can actually lower your gas mileage, your fuel mileage by 15 to 30%. So that's a big hit. And we've, like I said, we've seen it when we drive on the highway, drive local, it's a big difference.
So the next thing is alignment. So if you have a towed or you're towing a trailer or a fifth wheel, or all your tires aligned, this is really, really important because if you're just dragging that rubber down the road, that can actually lower your fuel efficiency by 10%.
Tire inflation, we talked about this not only with efficiency, but with safety. So you want to make sure your tires are properly inflated. It could be a difference between 0.06% and up to 3%, depending on how it is.
So let me just jump in. Think about if you now combine this. You said the 0.6 up to 3%. Then you have the misalignment, and then you're speeding. All of that together, that's a lot.
A couple of other things. Weight is a big deal. Of course, if you're carrying heavy loads, you're towing heavy loads, you're going to use more energy. And again, we've seen this. I remember we used to tow our trailer in our Ram. When we were towing that trailer, I could maybe get like 10 miles per gallon versus we could get like 18, and that was on the highway. And then a final thing, and there's many other ones, but this is really important. Make sure your motorhome or your towing vehicle is running efficiently. Spark plugs are good oil change, it's running, the engine is not wasting unnecessary energy, so you want to make sure you take it to a mechanic, or if you're handy, that it is running efficiently, and that will also save you money on fuel.
So put in the comments below, guys, with this in mind and knowing it from last year as well, is this going to affect your trip planning?
Are you budgeting based on last year? Is it going to affect how far you go, like MJ asked? Put everything in the comments below. And then to the left of us, we're going to put our RV DIYs playlist as well as our RV newbies playlist. And for myself and MJ, it's a journey of a lifetime, and we'll see you on the road.